We are live.
We are live. It is the fourth night of Manifest Awakening. Woo!
We made it this far.
What an amazing week, man. You know, when we vision and pray and plan these things, it's always so awesome and we catch glimpses, but the experience is exponentially greater. And it's really larger because of many of you who really participated and are on the platform sharing your breakthroughs and gratitude. It's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah. The energy's just been contagious these 4 days. Now, I don't want to say we saved the best for last because I know Michael will get mad at us for that. But tonight we're very excited to have Danielle Laporte joining us. And so that's going to be amazing as well.
Yes.
And then as promised, we're going to be relaunching opening registration for LTC next year tonight as well. So we got a lot of good stuff in store for you guys tonight.
Absolutely. And if Michael's not going to listen to tonight, I would definitely say we're saving the best. Because I've been a Danielle fan for so long. Long. I just am beyond inspired by her authenticity, her power. I just can't wait. So
totally agree.
Tonight, we are talking about fearlessness, becoming free of fear. And I think it's such an important conversation because it is what undergirds the victimization. It's what undergirds the division, what undergirds the judgment. And so this is really like at the core. And we're looking to really shake that loose and uproot that. And away you'll go, saving the world, man.
Yeah, activating some inner peace tonight.
Absolutely. So as we do, we'll start with a little bit of centering. So just take a few minutes to do that, and then we're going to invite in our special guest. So please join us if it's comfortable for you, closing your eyes, taking your attention off of the physical world, which is the effect, and breathing nice and slow deep within, pulling your attention inward, feeling the joy of the body stretching with a deep, deep breath. And as you exhale, allow the body to relax and imagine the spine growing taller, creating more room for the next deeper inhale. And as you exhale, imagine blowing out the past, all that has come before this moment. It's done, it's over, has no effect here. Take a moment to place your future in the hands of God. Offer it up, knowing that you don't need to figure it out. Giving it over to love guarantees that it will be perfect. No concern. And locate your full attention in the here and now. This is the access point to love, to healing, to freedom, to the remembering that you are the glory of God. The Course in Miracles doesn't say that heaven is all around you. The Course in Miracles says you are heaven. It literally says that you are heaven. So breathe that in. And imagine in the center of your chest, your heart chakra, is a ball of golden light, which is the symbol of peace. A peace that passes all human understanding. A peace that is not dependent upon anything of this world. As you place your attention upon it, Imagine that golden ball of light growing bigger, brighter, brighter, as it easily fills the body temple, extends beyond the body, filling the emotions, the energetic body, the mind, your whole being, on all dimensions. Imagine this golden light flowing from your heart to everyone else here, be they live or watching later. All are included as you give your peace to everyone with the peace that they are, multiplying it, creating a generous sharing of this light. And imagine it easily encompassing the entire planet, all of humanity, all life immersed in peace. The mind is so powerful. Seeing this is such an amazing gift. Give your peace to the world. And now imagine the world coming to you, shrinking down into the size of a marble as you welcome it into the center of your heart, so that the whole world is held within your love, surrounded by your peace. We welcome the love and the guidance of the Holy Spirit tonight, for we have set a profound intention to become free of fear, to see it for what it is, to let it go, and to allow the love that we are to have its way. So honored to be a part of this. Take a deep breath, breathe in this intention, and let this evening be for you the gift you have given yourself, and the gift that will keep on giving far beyond this evening. Nice deep breath. Say yes within yourself, as we know together we are blessed and we are guided, and so it is. Opening your eyes when you're ready.
Thank you for that, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful meditation. And so, okay, we are ready to get rolling tonight. We're really excited to bring on our guest this evening. Danielle and I became friends over the last year. And if you don't know Danielle, when I think about Danielle, Mark, the first word that comes to my mind is always authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
She just exudes such a beautiful authenticity and always speaks from the heart and really kind of embodies the divine feminine energy so well. And tonight we're talking about healing from fear and awakening inner peace with her, which is one of her sort of best subjects, I think. So if you don't know Danielle or you're not familiar with her yet, she is a member of Oprah's Super Soul 100. She's the author of the Firestarter Sessions, White Hot Truth, and The Desire Map. Her podcast, With Love, Danielle, ranks in the top 10 iTunes in the wellness categories. She is just a crusader for justice in the world. She works passionately with a nonprofit called Ally Global that helps survivors of human trafficking rebuild their lives, which is just incredible. And she currently lives in Vancouver, British Columbia. So I know we have a lot of Canadians joining us tonight. And so, yeah, tonight she's joining us to talk about healing fear and awakening inner peace. So please welcome the wonderful Danielle Laporte.
This is like a proper speaking gig.
It sure is. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me here. And thanks for the beautiful meditation. And that was really lovely.
Oh my gosh, we are like two men working every single day together. Your feminine energy is such a breath of fresh air.
Yes, we need to be balanced.
Yes.
Do what I can. Give me the topic for tonight again. I want to hear the exact wording again.
Healing from fear and awakening inner peace.
Yeah. I love talking about fear, and I love talking about suffering because I love, being for healing. This is how I feel about fear. I don't think you can actually let go of it. I think you have to bring it in and transform it. Mm-hmm. It's like, the way the mind works is like, here's the fear. It's sitting outside of me. I want to let it go. And, for most of us, that letting go energy is like, this pushing away. And so like, we're still interacting with it. And where we need to go, where we are going is like, in the heart center, everything's in. So, many mystics talk about how fear doesn't exist in the heart. Fear doesn't exist in the heart because once you bring fear into the heart, it transforms, it dissolves. And I think the best metaphor that I've worked with for this is to imagine all your dark, heavy stuff that you resist, and you put it on the porch of your house. A lot of this stuff actually ends up in the basement and just like pounds on the ceiling, but it's on the porch. So it's like, it's your shame, it's your terror, it's your arrogance, it's your manipulation. It's all the stuff you don't really want to look at. You don't want anybody else to see. And it's some version of fear is out there. And if you don't bring it in, if you're in a confrontational stance with your fear, it's just going to get louder to get your attention. And we all know what happens. It's going to come in the fear of anxiety waves or panic attacks or diagnosis or a fender bender or a breakup, whatever, because we are not integrating that fragment. I think this is an important part to understand with all the stuff that's on the porch, with fear, with fragmentation. All that stuff is of our creation. And this is something we need to get really clear on when we're in this space of A Course in Miracles. The Course teaching that only love is real. I get that deeply. I get that on a cellular level. I get that on a heart level. But if we begin the conversation there, the mind gets very confused, and a confused mind is very distracting because people, the ego, the shadow, the wounded inner child, whatever you want to call it, is going to say, but wait, I am afraid of that. Or we should fear that, or that is legit scary. Okay, true. But then how do you get into, but only love is real? Once you bring the idea, the first idea is to realize that it doesn't matter whether you believe or think that fear is real or not. Whatever it is of your creation. So you create your shame, you create your phobias, you create this is not a judgment. This is not a judgment. I'm going to bring this round. You create your neuroses, you create your heartbreak. And if you created it, you can heal it. So it's about, being fearless, less fearful is about really being the mother of your fear. And you talk about the divine feminine. I think this is the call, right? It's like, you are my dear fear. You are my child. I created you. You are of me. I will completely and entirely take care of you. I'm devoted to you. This is a very different energy than like, I'm going to hack my fear. I'm going to fucking crush my fear. I'm going to confront my fear. All of that is it's more fear on top of fear. And the ego loves that. The shadow side says, bring it on. Like, give me more fight, give me more division, give me more war energy.
Yes.
And the fear is just growing. And you can tell yourself the fear isn't growing because you're overriding it, but it's going somewhere else. Like, you can suck it up for a long time. You can probably suck it up for years and be a baller and accomplish all this stuff, but it's going to come out somewhere else. It's going to come out in a fear of intimacy that's going to turn into a divorce. It's going to come out 10 years down the road when out of the blue, you're like, I had no relationship to anxiety. And now I'm having panic attacks. It comes out. So if love really is the answer, which everybody here knows, love is it, then you have to love it all. And what I'm suggesting is, first, there's like, you can accept your fear, and acceptance is awesome. Acceptance kind of neutralizes everything. Like, you just be in that moment. Don't resist it. I know it's hard. It's so easy to sit here and say this. I'm scared, whatever it is, I'm scared. I'm scared of talking, of going on the live, of the relationship, of the breakup, of the health situation, whatever. My kid's in the window being a kid. Lost my train of thought. He just did something very vulgar. This is a teenage voice.
What's his name?
He doesn't have a name publicly.
He's nameless.
He's nameless. His last name's Johnson.
You were saying, I'm afraid of so many things. I'm afraid of this relationship. I'm afraid of doing this or that.
Acceptance. Okay. So first level is acceptance, which is, this is happening. I'm not going to resist it. So I'm afraid. Okay. So then you bring it to that neutralizing place. How does that neutralization happen? It only happens in the heart, because the heart is alchemizing. It's love changes everything it touches. Right. You want to change something, you want to transform it, you just pour some love on it. Okay, so acceptance is awesome. But here's the next awesome thing, big awesome, which is reverence. So let's just get the definition of reverence down. So everybody you can close your eyes right now, maybe just feel into this. Reverence is honor, respect, dignity, warmth, welcoming. It's got that little bit of a little quality of awe to it. AWE. Yeah. Okay, we can open our eyes. So imagine. I'm going to insert something into this. So everybody right now, think of something or someone that you have reverence for. It could be like the love of your life. It could be your kid. It could be Mother Nature, like revere. It's so expansive, right? Now imagine your fear sitting on the porch. It sucks. It's interrupting you all the time. It's such a hassle. You want to get stuff done, and there's your fear. Can you actually have reverence for your fear? Can you have respect for it? And what would a conversation like that be like? How would you speak to someone you revere? How would you speak to your fear if you were to revere it? I have respect for you. Why would you ever have respect for your fear? All right. You are tenacious. You are talkative. You show up all the time. You are consistent. I'm in awe of you. You can be overpowering some days. You're running the world right now. Mm-hmm. You have reverence for your fear. Respect. Wow. You wake me up. You keep me alert. You give me reason to look deeper into myself. I have some respect for you. That's being the mother of your fear. Wow. Now, can I talk about, we can jam, but I would love to talk about what's going on in the world in terms of fear.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that next as well, that there's a lot of fear in the world right now, which you touched on. Fear of lack, supply shortages, political unrest, tyranny and control, fear of death. So like, how do you view what's happening in our collective right now from a spiritual point of view? And if you're talking about, we need to actually bring this fear closer and integrate it, what does that even look like on a collective level?
But before that, just let me jump in, Danielle, because I'm just geeking out on the inside of what you're saying. I want people to really get this, because you're saying don't spiritually bypass. You're speaking like the Rumi poem, The Guest House. You're bringing it home so that I cannot thank you enough for spinning it this way. It's just awesome. Now go.
Really powerful.
Just stop confronting. Stop trying to crush your fear. Stop it.
Yes. Yes.
Stop talking yourself out of your fear. Stop standing on the ledge and hyper motivating. Forget it. Stand on the edge of the cliff and love your fear, and then jump.
That's it.
And no judgment. I'm scared. Still a child of God. I'm terrified. I'm still the beloved. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's happening in the world, I think the mother is just like shaking the carpet. And we are, we all know that when we're sick, there is a purge. The body will purge.
Right.
And I think our illness and our greed and our disconnectedness is up. And everybody in this situation, in the current world situation, pick a situation within the situation. My experience is that everybody is just being who they've always been. And it's heartbreaking and it's inspiring. But this is the time where we see, I'm shocked at some people's behavior. And I go, wow, if they are that hostile right now, they've been carrying that hostility around with them this whole lifetime. It's actually been in our relationship, and I didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
The segregationists right now in this world situation, mm-hmm. They have been dividing people into worthy and unworthy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe it was in high school with prom, and now it's with other choices that people are making. So we get to see all the stuff that's been on everybody's porch. It's up. Now, where it's getting dangerous and extra painful, and this is why we all need to be doing this, and we need to have daily practices. This is why, whether it is the course or it is 4 minutes of breathing, this is the work that's required, the light generation that's required. There is fear happening about fear. And I think there's a lot of psychoses happening. There's people are actually going mad.
Mm-hmm.
And you have people who are crazy doesn't even need to be a textbook definition, crazy by the definition of love and common sense. And they are doing what they always did. They are parenting, and they are driving vehicles, and they are running businesses, and they are online, and it is coming out. And I think the way to deal with this is we have to be so self-reflective. Like, I feel right now in these times, so much of my judgment coming up about people's lack of love. But what irony, right? To judge someone's lack of love. And the most useful thing for me, this is so self-help cheese, but it's working, is to see, so whatever the judgment is that I have, I'm holding against them. I have to ask myself where I am that.
Right.
And that helps me soften. I have to ask, what is it that I'm very clear about what I cherish? We all need to be very clear about what we cherish, which is different than what you stand for. Those are different things. What you cherish is of the heart. What you stand for is an intellectual exercise, which is of the mind, which is of the ego. So you got to be really careful what you stand for. When I consider what I cherish and what the other person cherishes, I get back into my heart. And then I'm like, okay. I also think if this is all of God, I mean, we could talk for days about this. If God's fingerprint is in everything, then what's to worry about? I mean, there's lots to worry about, but then you can take that to the place and everybody's playing their role. Everybody's playing their role. So it's like, there's a lot of leaders who are, by all common sense loving definitions right now, moving into total tyranny. What's happening? Now, I can be super judgmental about their tyranny, or First of all, I can be compassionate about my judgment and not think I'm an unevolved schmuck because I'm judging somebody.
Important point.
I just go, oh, that's interesting. And then I could get into how right I am. And that's interesting too. And then I can look at, and then I can jump cut to, wow, if this is all of God and this all needs to happen, a purge, a cleansing, the shadow's got to come up. And somebody's got to play the bad guy. So I have been using this metaphor of a movie. Like we all know, we see a movie, there's a bad guy. It's part of the plot. It leads to evolution, leads to the hero's journey. We all know that the actor in that movie goes home and is a good guy. The actor in this movie called life, because this is, we know on some level, this is a dream, and this high concepts, but whatever. This is a dream. The real stuff is the love. The real stuff is what happens when you sit with the course every day. The real stuff is what happens when you are on the cushion. The real stuff is the love. Everything else is, this is all just shadow. So just be awake in the shadow. So if it's true that this is all of God and that this is a dream, then that tyrannical leader is just being the bad guy in this movie. And it's actually moving the plot forward for us to wake up, for us to be love, for us to remember why we're here, for us to forgive all the grievances.
Yes.
And maybe if you want to take this one step even further, you could think for a minute, maybe he's like doing some divine job and his soul has taken this on and in some way doing something braver than I am. My role this lifetime is I get to be the good guy. I mean, some people think I'm the bad guy, but whatevs. But, I'm not a stand for tyranny. I'm a stand for love.
Right.
But maybe let's just say, I don't even need to name leaders. Maybe they signed up before this incarnation and said, I'm going to be the big shadow monster. I'm going to be the guy that hands out this poison. I'm going to be the guy that divides people. I'll start the war so that everybody's shadow can come up and y'all can finally get this peace thing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's
got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be an idiot. Choose love.
Don't be dumb. Choose love.
Yeah. Right.
It's a good t-shirt. Let's get a t-shirt with that.
That's your subline, Danielle. At the end of it all, don't be an idiot. Choose love.
Yeah, no, Danielle, you're hitting on some of the things we talked about last night. We were talking about this self-inquiry of how can I take ownership of my judgments, find where that exists in me and heal it there. That's how I dissolve it from the collective. That's really the focus of this week of Manifest Awakening. But the Buddha famously, when he became enlightened, he named himself Buddha, meaning awakened one. And he would just say, hey, just call me someone who woke up. That's all, nothing special. And he said something really profound, which was, when I woke up, when I awakened, the world awakened with me. And I think we hear that also echoed in Christ, right? When Christ said, the Son of God did not come to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. And so how do you reconcile that teaching that I think does get misconstrued in the spiritual community very often of, okay, well, the world's already awakened. If I'm awakened, the world's me. It's all an illusion. So, let the children be trafficked, let the tyranny happen, let the division, let the poison, let this, let that, because it's all the dream. It doesn't exist. Let me just work on myself and let the world go about its way. But the Buddha was very adamant in teaching compassion for the world, for those who suffer, bring happiness to people, bring kindness, bring healing. And so how do you balance those two of if I'm awakened, the world is awakened, and yet that call of love from within me beckons me to answer the world's pain?
Yeah, I've been sitting with this myself. Do I need to do anything? Do I need to speak? And the answer is, first I have to ask what part of me is asking that question? Is my shadow self, my wounded self, my inner child saying, what do I need to do to be healed, to be loved, to get divine favor, to get into heaven, to burn my karma.
Mm.
That's the wrong self answering. That's my wounded self. Asking.
Yes.
If my heart asks, what do I need to do? Well, first of all, I've already so-called won. I'm in my heart. And then I just answer my heart. Some days my heart wants to do nothing. My heart says I should go for a walk. Some days my heart says, when you go to the cash machine, grab an extra 20 for the guy in the corner. Some days my heart says, you should post that. You should say a little something. Some days my heart says, be quiet, just quiet. And this for me is a really important part of these times of being alive right now, is that I have to practice fluidity. Because if I don't practice fluidity and being in my heart, day to day, I haven't mastered moment to moment, but like day to day, then I don't get stuck in apocalyptic thinking.
Yes.
Which I have a propensity for. And this goes back to not spiritually bypassing, which Mark, you used that term. So if I'm not fluid, I get these fixed images of the future, thoughts of the future. And then we know that thoughts are magnetic, right? They just collect other thoughts. So my negative thought goes out into the morphogenic field, and your negative thought is so looking for misery, and it hangs out with my negative thought. And we just get these huge clouds of negativity, which I think is the hole in the ozone layer. And so I don't want to be having dark images of the future. So I have to replace every negative thought, and this has really been my work of the last 6 months, with a positive vision of the future. Everyone. And I might have to do this every 5 minutes. Like I, make my avo on toast, and the future looks great, and I have a negative thought, and by the time I'm done, I got to come up with another vision for the future. And I have to just stay fluid, like what's called of me today? Be quiet today. Don't say anything. And sometimes my shadow will come up and say, that's so irresponsible. How could you not be using your platform? Well, my heart said, quiet. And then some days it'd be the opposite, but I just have to check in every day and see, my prayer every day is, Holy Spirit, fill my mind with the thoughts of God, as speaking to the Course. And then I give her.
Danielle, I love that so much, because what you're saying, and I want everyone to hear this, is that if you're in your heart and if you're listening to the divine, you're taking a walk quietly through the trees is the blessing that the world needs. Where the very next person is writing a letter to Congress, marching with a sign in their hand. If everyone moved from love, all the positions would be filled, and those sitting quiet would be just as impactful with their love as the one marching. To me, that's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And you can see all the ego roles that everybody's playing right now. Like, we all think everybody should do what we do. Like, I have my days where I'm done my meditation in the morning. I think, well, everybody should do this. The world will be a better place. We wouldn't even need influencers anymore, or Congress. And that's my projection. And then we have the people who are being very loud and building platforms around saving the world right now. And they're pissed with the people who are just meditating. That's just a projection too. And the big lesson is, you got to be your own mother. You've got to be God in this. We're in such turmoil because we've been looking outside of ourselves. You can follow this slippery slope. Like, I look out of myself for love, for validation, for comfort. So I buy the purse, and that purse has economical, environmental implications. I look outside of myself. So I vote somebody in when I really should get to know my elderly neighbors down the hallway. I look outside of myself. So I order everything online when really I should learn how to grow some potatoes. You know, we're in a very fragile, not very sustainable living system. Our lifestyles are just hanging by a thread right now. Just start putting some of the things together here about what is not sustainable. And it all comes because we didn't do what our heart said to do that day.
Oh, that is so good. I can't appreciate you enough for being here. You know, I know you know this and you teach to this, but I want to lead you. For those who are listening here who are so consumed in their anxiety, in the fear that is really trapping them from even being able to know God in their heart, let alone begin seeing it in their brothers and sisters, what are some really like practical, like in the body experience, whatever it is, experience that you can give them to begin becoming free or befriending that so that they can breathe?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank Steve in the comments for calling me a young lady. Thank you, Steve. Breath. This is why every mystic talks about breath. And when you're panicked and your shadow is saying, be frustrated, be angry, be anxious, worry, struggle for a solution, act out. The last thing it wants to hear is say, just breathe. Just breathe. You've got to have a basic breathing practice. Just 4 count box breathing. This is so simple. Everybody, right? We'll do a quick one. Everybody right now. Breathe in for 4 breaths. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Nice one. 3, 4. That's all. You know, do that before you get online. Do that when you're arguing with your mother about, you know, what you're going to do if you're going to take your kids out of school or not. That you have to breathe. And everybody has to do what's right for them. But I'm just going to just firmly stand on my soapbox for a moment and say, you have to have a contemplative and/or meditative practice. You brush your teeth every day. You shower fairly regularly. You've got to cleanse your mind. And you've also, you know, you look in your fridge to see what's there. It needs to be taken out. You've got to look into your subconscious and see what's trying to call the shots right now. And up to you. But it would be great. There's an invitation from the divine right now for everybody to want to connect with the divine. So the mother says, do I have your attention? No, you're busy? Okay. How about a little suffering? Do I have your attention yet? Oh, yes, mother. I feel I need you now. Great. Let's work together. Why don't you talk to me every day? And you have to want truth. So there's all sorts of reflective tools, but first you have to want to aspire to, you fill in the blank, know God, be virtuous, be loving, be at peace. What's your one thing? Pick it, commit to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would so echo that. Just a simple breath work practice, a simple meditation practice could really change the world if everyone would commit to that, because that's each one of us taking time to be present with what is and just slowly elevating our frequency each and every day, which, as we know, ACIM teaches all minds are joined. That elevates the collective frequency. You know, it doesn't have to always be crusading in the streets for justice and this and that. Those things are great and have their place too. But yeah, the most important thing we can all do is take priority over our inner world and cleanse our mind and find inner peace within ourselves. And so, you know, I'd love, Danielle, for you to lead us in a short prayer or a guided meditation to just sort of do what you do best and help activate what we've been talking about tonight in healing this fear and finding inner peace.
Let's do the Metabhavna prayer. So a little behind the scenes with Metabhavna is that this was a prayer that the Buddha offered to his disciples. And apparently, as the legend goes, the disciples were frustrated. Enlightenment is hard. And the disciples came forward in some frustration and just said, you know, we're suffering. And he gave them the Metabolic Prayer. Now, if you go online, you'll hear some different translations of this, but essentially they're all the same. There's three refrains to this. One is you're going to offer the prayer to yourself. Then you're going to offer it to someone. So we're going to say, may I, and then you offer it to somebody else. May you. Here's the invitation. The you could be, you could offer this prayer to your inner child. You could offer this prayer to everybody here tonight. You could offer the prayer to the person that you are in the deepest conflict with right now. You could offer it to a group of people that you agree with or disagree with. And then we offer it to the world. So we say, may we. We includes all sentient life. This includes animals, everybody ever on the planet, everybody playing their role. Okay, so if you're in a place to do this, the invitation is to close your eyes. And first, we're going to dedicate all the merits, all the goodness that's going to come out of this practice and this evening together. We offer this up to the benefit of all. So we dedicate the merits of this practice. You can repeat after me out loud or internally. We dedicate the merits of this practice individually and collectively to the awakening of all beings and the purification of the Mother, our planet Earth. So in your mind's eye, as high as you can see, you imagine a point of light. That point of light is going to come and hover down above you, and it's a sun. So your only job is just to bask in that sun. It's about 20, 21 feet above your head. Make it as big as you want and just receive. Become aware of the gratitude that's in your heart to be alive. That we are of this earth, from this earth, for this earth. And then you let that gratitude drop down and anchor into the Mother, center of the earth. And then however you like to hold your hands for prayer, you do that now. And then you can repeat out loud after me, with me, or silently inside with all of your intention. May we be happy. Excuse me, may I. We'll start with I. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free of suffering. May I be free of anxiety. May I live in peace. May my life be blessed with ease. Now, who do you offer this to? May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of mental anxiety. May you live in peace. May your life be blessed with ease. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be free of suffering. May we be free of mental anxiety. May we live in peace. May our lives be blessed with ease. We give thanks with full faith. So be it, so it is. Then you just breathe your eyes to open.
Sila.
A gift to be together. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danielle, for joining us. Really, such a blessing. I really do hope you'll join us next year some more because your light is so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for what you're doing. Yeah. Course in Miracles all the way. Love. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danielle. You're such a blessing.
Peace and love.
Good night.
I feel warm inside.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny because, you know, with Michael, we were just like high with this woo, but with Danielle, it's just like, oh.
Masculine and feminine. We picked the two perfect dance partners, man.
I just like, what a brilliant spiritual teacher. And so, like you said, man, so authentic.
Yeah.
Like no bullshit, you know, like just real. And, you know, yeah, I'm happy.
I was noticing a lot of the comments, people saying, wow, she's just so real. I was like, I told you guys, authenticity, man. It just shines from her, and that beautiful, warm, divine feminine energy. Like it gets so activated in me when I listen to her. So I listen to a lot of like non-duality, masculine gurus and sages and stuff. So I like to balance with some feminine energy, and Danielle's always my go-to.
Yeah, she's wonderful. We appreciate her being here. Everyone go, go and be sure to follow her, and, just give her your love and support, take a moment to shoot her an Instagram message and thank. I think that would be great. So,
yeah.
So tonight we've got to do before we complete our 4-day experience. It is now our opportunity to share with you about LTC and invite you to consider joining us to be a part of that next year. And then we're going to move into questions and sharing after that. So how do we begin this one?
Well, I'd just like to say, whether you feel inspired or feel called, which is what we hope you sign up, is if you feel called from within to be a part of this community with us, whether or not you join us next year, or you're just here for this 4-day experience, we appreciate you so much. You've blessed us so much by showing up and doing the work. So thank you from the bottoms of our heart. But yeah, as promised, we have 500 plus of you signed up on the waiting list who've been asking us, when does registration open? So finally, as promised, we're opening registration tonight. And, most of you know about this amazing program already, I'm sure. But for those of you who may not know about Living the Course, we're just going to sort of quickly explain to you what Living the Course is all about. And we have a few exciting announcements as well about some major upgrades that we've made to the program for next year, which we're really excited to share with you. So yeah, we're just going to run through a quick PowerPoint to show you what we do in LTC. And then we'll start taking some questions if you have any about the logistics of joining the program.
Yes. So Living the Course is created by Aaron and myself, and a lot of prayer. We came together because it was our desire to help people understand A Course in Miracles, break it down in tangible, relatable, authentic ways, and to just begin letting it have its way with them in the most beautiful way. And that was how Aaron and I came together, and we just said yes to this vision that we felt Spirit really clearly calling us. And it has absolutely been better than we could ever have imagined.
Oh, man.
And yeah, with so many who have been in the program are just so, they're estimates how amazing the entire. But I'll go over this for you so you can get the gist of it, and then pass back and we'll see what we've got. So basically, if we can move to the next slide. So the objective for year one, which is what we're inviting you to be a part of, is to study and apply in Course in Miracles the daily lessons in service to making your spiritual awakening your first priority. And I want to say that the key to this is doing it together. Together we go so much higher and so much deeper. Together, side by side, loving each other unconditionally, working together to, not working, but just worshiping and enjoying and embodying this together is such a phenomenal experience. And our second objective is to create a safe and unconditionally accepting community to connect, transform, and transcend our borders, both physically and spiritually. So this is the purpose of Living the Course. So what the program is, it's the morning lessons and master classes. So we offer you 365 daily lessons, which are in the course, but we teach them every single day with opening centering, a breakdown of the lesson. What's cool about LTC is that we bring other faith paths and other spiritual
traditions
teachers,
and texts,
that complement it and help us to see, oh wow, the principles in Course in Miracles are in Buddhism and Christianity and all of these amazing spiritual teachings. So we enjoy showing you how it's everywhere. So there's that. We also have 28 master classes where we take the key terms. And this is where I think it's really cool, Aaron. This is what was amazing, I thought, this year. We take the key terms that can feel so confusing and we break them down and we help you get a new definition and a new experience of it. We'll have viewing times on our platform for you to watch these are pre-recorded videos, but you'll be able to watch them together and share and connect with the community. And then Aaron and I meet with you once a week where we spend the time to answer your questions and break down those lessons live. So every single week, we're with you, meeting with you 60 to 90 minutes, just helping you to embody them and to start living them more fully.
Yeah, and this is what's really, the meat of the program is the daily lessons and the master classes, because, if you're familiar with ACIM, then you know that it uses the Christian language, brother, the Christ, Holy Spirit, salvation, atonement. And so when you pick it up, a lot of people, and this is, again, why Mark and I felt so inspired to start a program like this, is that, this book is truly like a blueprint to enlightenment. Yes. It's just the most amazing tech. It's like having a living guru with you, if you can understand it. But most people can't get past the language barrier, right? And so they're just like, I don't really know what I'm reading. And so our immediate desire was, what if we created, we do like a weekly masterclass in addition to the lessons, where we take one of those key terms and we dive headlong into it and unpack it and explain, what does this term mean? So that as you're reading the lessons and the text, it starts to come alive to you on a whole new level, and you start to actually pick up what's here. And so I guess, maybe the easiest way to explain living the course is that if you've been blessed by these 4 days and sort of the way we've structured this Manifest Awakening program, this is exactly what we do every single day in living the course. It's a year-long program. We wake up every day, live stream the morning meditations or the morning lessons. We meditate, we read the lesson, we unpack it, we give you the practical application, how to live this lesson today and just make this my mantra for the day, right? Yeah. And man, these lessons just get in you in such a profound way over the course of the year as you build upon your knowledge and understanding. As we'll let you hear from many of our LTC members from this year, it's just been the most transformative year for all of us, because we're living the course together. And that's the power of LTC, I think, is the community aspect.
Absolutely. We also have, because the community part is so important, we call it 4 Thursdays. And this is where you'll get together with year 1 and 2. So people who've done year 1 now are invited to go to the next level of study. Everyone comes together the 4th Thursday on Zoom, where we break out into small groups and you meet people from all over the world, and you share your story and you hear their story, and where are they having some breakthroughs and where are they struggling. And it is the most magical day of the month. It's just such a beautiful thing. So that we have that. And then we also, going to the next slide. This is really exciting. We have a new membership portal and an app. Even last year, there was a number that were resistant to be on Facebook, which we totally respect. That's obviously grown even more. For many people, it just isn't their place to go. And we really agree with that. And so we are moving to a brand new private portal that is protected, just our site. You'll have your own profile. You get to meet other people, read about them, share your interests. You also will have an app that you'll have right on your phone, instant access to the lessons, to the conversations, questions that you could put out there that will be answered. It's all happening on our own private portal, which will also allow greater intimacy and connection.
Yeah, this is what we were really excited to announce to you guys. You can go back, Whitney, to the previous slide. A lot of you guys in LTC this year, like we've been saying, we have some announcements, and you're like, what's the announcement? It's this right here is the Mighty Networks platform that we're on right now. Almost all of you guys are on Mighty Networks and have been really enjoying it this week. This is the one-stop shop next year for LTC. Our community portal, we're getting off Facebook. All the community stuff is happening here. All of the live streams happen here. And we have our own private app. So we literally took about a quarter of the money we made last year on LTC and reinvested it into the program to pay for this professional app, so that you can have all access on your phone, no matter where you are, driving in the car, at the grocery store, throwing your earphones. You click on the app, you've got the lessons there, the master classes. Everything we do is going to be on this portal, and we will have an app so it can be on your phone. And I'm just so excited because it hasn't been like too hard doing Zoom and Facebook and Kajabi. But this year it's going to be all in one location. So that's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited too. And we did, it's a big investment on our part, but we're so happy to make it because it serves the highest intention, which is to serve you and to live the course. So,
yes.
So the next slide, we also have 2 virtual and a live fall retreat. And we just did our first one this fall, which was just like mind-blowing and beautiful.
Oh my
and
gosh.
There's some pictures from it. We had about 50 people at this one. We decided, because traveling has feel challenging for people, that we would be doing a live all-day virtual in the spring, a live all-day virtual in the summer, and then virtual all-day spring, virtual all-day summer, and then a 3 to 5 day experience in the fall where we come together. So that also is a part of the program. And now let's move to the exciting part, your investment in this program. So the cost for the entire year, all of that included, is $2,000. However, if you register within the next 48 hours after this event, we're giving you a $500 discount immediately. So it's only $1,500 for the whole year, $125 for a 30-minute to 45-minute lesson every day, the master classes, the community experience, Aaron's and my expertise of being there with you, answering your questions in the portal, supporting you, and being with you as life brings what life brings. We take these lessons and we help you live all of that. And an extra benefit, if you pay in full in the next 48 hours, you also get the free VIP access to the virtual retreats, which, by the way, those aren't included in the fee. The retreats are a separate fee. But if you join in the next 48 hours and you pay in full, you get both of the virtual all-day retreats included for free. So it is, I think it's such an amazing, you're getting so many hours of spiritual food and support. And like Danielle said, now is the time. We must be in our practice. We must not be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So if you're looking to really put both feet into your spiritual life, if you're really looking for the peace that passes all understanding, and if you really want to know the magnificent light of God that is you, we invite you to join us for this program. You could also do another year of going around the suffering karmic wheel if you want.
You can sign up for another year of suffering or a year of LTC with us. So you choose.
Or you can join us.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, and from my heart, everybody, like all of the logistics aside, from my heart, and this is really like working with Aaron Abke has been the highlight of my entire year. I can't tell you, ask my husband how many times I say, that dude is brilliant. He's like, the way he channels spiritual teaching in a fun, digestible way is mind-blowing to me. So I'm just saying that because it really is true for me, but he's such a blessing. We're so blessed to have him with us live. And I'll be really, really honest. I think this is just the beginning of this man's wonderful career. So if you want to say, I knew him when I was a part of something magnificent, this is your time. I mean that, man.
Well, I appreciate all that you just said, Mark, and I would echo the same thing back to you. But LTC for me, Mark, is like, this is my greatest passion, is building community. A lot of what Danielle talked tonight is we have to just build the new world, build a world based on love and unity. And the old model, as Michael said too, just becomes obsolete. And so I want to be an agent of change in the world to build real community like this. And so one of my dreams is to open a spiritual center, as you know, one day, and start building a in-person community. And I feel like in so many ways, it's really started with LTC. We have the most incredible, heartfelt, tight-knit community of spiritual seekers and devotees that we come together every single morning. And it's like being with your favorite people on earth every day. It really is. Like we got these wristbands last year to commemorate our commitment to ACIM this year. And, I've worn this every day this year thus far. And there's not been a day I have not woken up, my eyes pop open, and I'm so excited to join the LTC call with you all and just experience this amazing community. So we're building this community. We're growing it. It's going to get bigger every year. We're actually doing 3 tiers now of LTC. We have now year 1, year 2, and year 3. So those who were in year 1 doing the daily lessons with us this year are going to be going to the year 2 track. So a lot of them will be redoing the daily lessons who choose to do so. but we'll be reading the text material together in year 2. And year 1 is the daily lessons and the master classes. And then year 3, we're going to go over the teacher's manual and really focus on training up teachers of God, teachers of ACIM, to send those of you out who feel passionate about teaching this text yourself, starting your own communities or teaching circles as well. So we have big, big visions for LTC. And yeah, we're just so excited to welcome a whole new slew of you guys with us into this amazing family next year.
Yeah. And we have fun. This is not a serious thing. It's deep, but we have a blast. We really do.
We sure do.
It's just it's a great community. It really
you can check
is.
my Instagram highlights if you want to see.
So thank you for letting us give you that overview. Thank you for letting us explain that. You'll receive an email that breaks it down so you can read through it again. If you have any questions, email info@livingthecourse.com. We'll answer all your questions. Our team is on hand, on deck, ready to serve you and make sure that you've got all that you need. And we really hope that you will and bless us by being a part of it.
Yeah. And Whitney, can you throw up the last slide, which has the payment plan information? I see some people asking about that.
Right. Forgot about that. Thank you. Yeah. For those who want a payment plan, we've got one for you.
Yeah. Two payment plan options. And we had mentioned that we want to incentivize you to pay in full if you can, if you have that capability, because it's just a lot more work for us to process payments and credit cards every month and hundreds of people to keep up with. So we want to give you that incentive of having VIP access to those 2 virtual retreats we're doing next year. You get free access to those. Those of you who join LTC will get a discount to the virtual retreats. But if you pay in full, we're going to, as a token of our thanks to you for helping us out, we're going to be offering you guys both of those as well. So Whitney's going to throw up the payment plans on the last slide really quick. And basically we have the one-time payment of $1,500. We have a 6-month option and a 10-month option. So we try to make it as affordable as possible for you, because we know these times can be challenging for many of us. But the bottom line for us is, if you want to be here, if you feel called to be here, we want you here. So if for whatever reason finances are just a total issue for you and this is not doable for you financially, please email us. We'll find a way to work with you to make this happen. And beyond that as well, we are also offering a 14-day money back guarantee on this, because we want you to feel called to living the course. We don't want you to do it because your friends are doing it, or because, you just thought it would be exciting, but maybe you're not ready to commit to a whole year of doing this work with us. Totally fine. We'll give you 14 days to decide that on yourself, because again, we want you to be a part of this because you feel called. So here we go. 1 payment, 6 payments, or 10. The 6-month would shake out to $250 a month for 6 months, or $150 for 10 months. So whatever is affordable for you is totally fine. But we will incentivize you a little bit to help us out if you can do the one time.
Yeah. Cool. 14 days after purchase. I just saw that question. So if you purchase today, you have 14 days to be with that and pray with that and to be solid on that. The payments are due when you register today or tomorrow, tomorrow or Saturday. Your first payment is taken at the registration. So if you're not paying in full, whichever you pick, the 6 payment or the 10 payment, there will be a withdrawal starting this month and then every month following until it's paid off.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into some of your questions here about LTC. I saw some asking about payment plans. We just went over that. Joseph asks, can I work for you at the spiritual center? Yes, you can, Joseph.
Hey, I'm going to work there too. I already told Aaron. I'm like,
Mark's going to be there. All of you got to be there.
Tell me when I'm moving.
Yeah. Someone asks, Kim asks, if we don't join the LTC group, will our access to the Mighty Networks app be disabled? I believe we're going to leave the Manifest Awakening community open for you guys to stay connected and all that. But we will have the private community group for LTC alone, because that's, again, where all the content will be as well. Yeah. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Mark.
Yeah. we will have in our Mighty Networks platform, we will have sort of our free community where, you know, people can be a part of that and share and you know, still be on the receiving some inspiration from the LTC organization. So that'll still be there, and the classes and everything happens inside the paid portal.
Yeah.
So.
This is a really good question from Val, who asks, are the levels starting at year 1 next year, or do they run simultaneously? For example, can one start at year 2 if they weren't a part of this last year? So this was something Mark and I talked about, and we really want you to do the morning lessons first, because this year was such a foundational year for our community and for really understanding the course. I mean, if you've had 20 plus years or something of ACIM experience and you're like, no, I've done the lessons I want to go deeper. I like to say we want to make this like an ACIM ashram for you guys to be as immersed as you want to be. So again, the year 2 students who joined us this year will be doing the year 2 track, where we'll be going over the actual text together. But a lot of them will be redoing the daily lessons as well with you guys. But those in year 1 are just going to have access to the year 1 content, obviously. Yeah. So I wouldn't say no to that, Mark. If you're like totally committed to ACIM and you want to jump into year 2, then, you know, we may consider that, and we'll talk with you one-on-one about that. But we really do want to push you towards join year 1 first. I mean, trust me, you want to take your time with this Seriously. Text. Yeah. You don't want to rush through it.
Yeah, I agree. When you take a year to do the morning lessons and then with a group go in and read the textbook, which you can do anyway, but when you do it after that, the depth is so much deeper. But also year 2 has some other components that they will now be ready to learn. One is how to pray. We're very passionate about prayer here at LTC. You all heard Michael Beckwith pray on Tuesday night. That's an actual formula, a thing that he taught me how to do. We will be teaching the year 2 people how to do affirmative prayer, the specific formula, how to activate it for themselves and for others. We will be doing prayer partnerships so people learn how to do that. That's all a part of year 2. And we'll also be having small group experiences of 6 to 8 people where they go in and really get to know each other and go deeper into living the text portion. So those are additional components to year 2. Year 1, I promise you, your time is well spent with the morning lessons and all of those master classes, of which there are many, and they're all good.
Yes. Another question I'm seeing a lot of people asking is, what time are the morning lessons? And are they live or not? So we're actually going to be doing 3 streaming times next year for people in different time zones, because those who are doing the year 1 next year are going to be watching the lessons we did this year. So the replays of the lessons, which have just been incredible this year. But we are going to stream it live so that you can be on the chat talking with everyone along with us as we go, just like it's as if it's live already. So we'll have a time for America, probably a time for UK, and then maybe a far Eastern time zone like for Australia and people in that time zone as well, so that you can connect with the people in your time zone as you're watching the lessons live each day. Yeah. And we've been doing 9 a.m. Eastern time. So we may keep it that way next year in each time zone. So, you know, like we'll pick maybe London, 9 a.m. East time in London, and then Melbourne, Australia, or something along those lines, but it'll be in the morning in each time zone. So that's the way the lessons are going to work next year.
And I want to add to that, you know, because there was a little bit of pushback about like, it's not live. I'm like, trust me, this pre-recorded material is gold. We gave it everything in our hearts.
Oh my gosh. Day. Yeah.
And you're actually getting more than last year, if I may say, because you're getting the live Q&A with Aaron and me every week, where you will spend the time in the 7 lessons for that week. And then and all of our material that we give you to do that, plus the community experience, and then meeting with us for a real clear 60 to 90 minute deep dive meditation, practice, prayer, answer your questions. It's really going to be phenomenal. So lots of live is my point. You will get sick of me. And
lots of live. Yeah. Yeah. And if you can't do 9 a.m., whatever, if you can't join the live stream, totally fine. The recording's available to watch anytime you want. So, you know, just click on your LTC app. You can watch it in the evening if you prefer. totally up to you, but we do it in the morning because we give you the lesson and then we give you the practice for the day of here's what to keep in your awareness today. Here's how to integrate this lesson today as you go about your day. So we really want you to do the lessons in the morning if you can, because we think that's when you'll really get the most bang for your buck. But yeah, you can watch it any time of the day that you want. And someone asks, how long are the lessons? We had said 15 to 20 minutes at the beginning of the year, and it didn't end up working out. So
it did not.
The lessons are on average 30 to 40 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. So yeah, you're getting about 10 plus hours of content a week, not including the live sessions we do. So a lot of bang for your buck in this program.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. How much would the in-person retreat be? We haven't established the details of that enough to know how to answer that. We still want to find the best location for most people to go to. We really want to assess. We've got more work to do behind the scenes to get clear on what is the best way to do this next fall so that the most people can come together. So as soon as we get that, and we will get that within the first quarter of 2022, so you've got enough time to plan for that in your calendar year, but we don't have enough info yet.
Right.
Fair enough on that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw Jason asks, do we have to purchase the master classes now? A lot of you guys have been, we made the master classes available for purchase for those outside of LTC who want to kind of see what we're about and see what we're doing. I think it was like $25 or something per masterclass. So you're getting everything if you join LTC. Masterclass every Thursday, daily lesson every morning, everything, Q&As, the fourth Thursday gatherings, it's all included in the program. Yeah. And so on that note, we actually wanted to show you guys a little testimonial video so you can hear from our own LTC members of what their direct experience has been this year. What are the transformations that they've received from LTC? Because I know that that's always really the most important for someone when they want to sign up for a program is what are the results? What are people experiencing in this program? So we wanted you to check out this quick clip.
I am here to tell you that if you want to change your life in a huge way, that living the course is the way to do it.
The way this course is put together, it just has accelerated my spiritual growth on a whole nother level.
Every single day, I can't believe the truth that they are able to help me to understand. I was in a good place when I started with LTC, but I had no idea how exponentially better my life could have gotten.
It had been the biggest catalyst in my spiritual growth than anything else I've ever experienced.
This was the best decision I made for myself this year.
Game changer. It's been a path that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Come with your expectations, but be ready to be rocked where you can't even understand how limited you were seeing things before.
I've had so many breakthroughs all year long. It started on day one. I had breakthroughs. Big realizations about things that I've carried my entire life.
My happiness quotient went up tremendously. The community that has formed as a result of this has meant so much to me because we can talk with each other in ways that we can't talk with family, we can't talk with friends.
They connect the dots in the course, and it is an amazing experience. It is an enlightening experience.
They helped me see life so differently. Transforming is an understatement. I wish everyone to give this gift to themselves.
So please, please do yourself a favor and invest in making your life just more wonderful than you can absolutely positively imagine.
Kind of brings tears to my eyes.
I know, video makes me smile, man.
And so we're so blessed. So anyway, any more questions you have about the program? Again, we're here for you. Please join us. Know that whenever, and this is what I know, when we make a commitment to something and we just say yes to the vision and the intention, the universe will surprise us with the how. The universe will provide. So if you're feeling fear, which a lot of people, the first fear that rises up is money stuff, just take a moment and breathe. As Danielle said, breathe that fear in. Get related to it. Don't push it away this time. Don't let it master you. Become the master of it. Ask it what it wants. Ask it why. Like do something with it. And if you're guided to do this, I promise you, the way will be made clear, and we will help you. We that's our commitment. We're very committed to helping you.
Yeah. And I did see one other question of, is Danielle or Michael going to be back next year? Do you have guest speakers?
Yes.
And this year we did. Yes, indeed, we do. We had the September speaker series, which we'll be bringing back next year, where each masterclass that month is a guest speaker. So very likely could have Beckwith back on with us, or Danielle, or a whole number of amazing guest speakers. So we will have some amazing guest speakers lined up for you guys next year as well. Because you'll probably get sick of seeing us every day, right?
Right.
Just kidding.
Although I have not gotten sick of. But yeah, and at our retreats, things like that. Like we want to bring the best voices that we know to LTC so that we're all blessed by them. So there's surprises in year 2 that or the next year, 2022, that even we don't know about yet, because we're just open and ready. So
yeah, if it grows like it did this year, I can't even imagine what it's going to be this coming year. I'm so excited.
Yeah. We do have a hand raised, Gwen. I'm going to ask you to come on. Sure. Love for you to ask your question or share. You can unmute yourself.
I just went to pay the total amount, and the first screen that popped up, it says, "Welcome to year 1." I thought I was paying for year 2 because I did year 1. I'm in year 1. So the little picture said, "Welcome to year 1." Kind of confusing.
Okay, cool. I'll address that. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. So we are this is selling year 1. If you are already completing year 1, going into year 2, that is a different payment portal. And we can easily help you know which one you're going to. Whitney will be posting that on our group page and making sure you understand. So again, just to be clear, the invitation here is for those who want to join us for the first year. If you're a second year LTC person, that's a different payment portal.
Yeah, because we've been making that available to our members in our Facebook group for the last few weeks already. So we have, I think, 35 or 40 people signed up for year 2 already. Yeah. So yeah, that's a separate thing from what we're advertising tonight.
Yeah. And so Gwen, if you did click all the way through, then we'll make sure that's applied to year 2 and take care of all that.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah. Cool. So Steve says it's truly been an enlightening 4 days. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Steve. We are grateful too. It is it's some work to put these events on, but it's the good work, and just so grateful to do that.
Yeah. Someone says, who can I email for more info or questions? info@livingthecourse.com is our sort of admin email. If you have any questions or issues with payment plans or whatever, that's the email that you want to contact, info@livingthecourse.com. There you go. Thanks, Whit.
Yeah, I added it. There we go. So, all right. So we don't want to keep you any longer. We're so grateful again for your time, for being a part of this. And let's bring it back to Manifest Awakening, because bringing it back to the 4-day experience, that has a beginning, middle, and end of the gift that we have given to the world by our intention of being together. Thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for adding your love to this collective wave that we're committed to being. And all that you received here will continue to deepen and grow with you. You've got the replay videos, go back and watch them. You've got the morning meditations, do those. Those are all our gifts to you, because we love you and we thank you for being a part of it. Just keep consuming that and letting it serve you.
Yeah. We're here to do the work. So thank you all for showing up again so much. Yeah. We're going to keep all that stuff available. It'll be on my YouTube channel as well. And we will keep the Manifest Awakening community open, so you guys can keep connecting with each other. Even if you're not joining LTC, There's some really cool features in Mighty Networks that allow you to find, it'll actually show you people who live near you, which is, again, what we're passionate about, is connecting you guys with one another, because so much of the feedback we hear about members in LTC is, this was such a godsend because I don't have any friends. Nobody in my family is into spiritual practice, knows what ACIM is. It's like I'm all alone in my world. And all of a sudden I have a community of hundreds of people that are doing this work with me every single day. And so you don't feel so alone anymore. So we're going to keep that community open for you as well. Of course, we hope you join us in LTC, but either way, as a token of our appreciation, we want to give you all of that content for here forward. So thank you again.
Indeed. All right, everybody. Peace and love.
Lots of love to you guys.